The value of lowering SCC in your herd is a web-based decision support tool developed by Dr. Victor Cabrera at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. It estimates how much additional milk and how much additional income a dairy would recover by moving its herd to a lower somatic cell count. The tool answers two questions: what a lower SCC is worth per year, and whether a round of lactational antibiotic treatment pays for itself. The calculations are built on the Recoverable Milk Framework of Chen and co-authors, published in 2021, and the Per Doubling Yield Slope from Hilasa and co-authors, published in 2009. On the left side of the screen is the input panel, labeled Your Herd Today. There are 4 entries. The first is your bulk tank or average cow SCC, entered in thousands of cells per milliliter. This can be a tank reading or the herd average from your DHI test. The default is 300, meaning 300,000 cells per milliliter. Next is a toggle that controls how you enter milk. You can enter production per cow per day, or as whole herd per day. With per cow per day selected, you enter milk per cow per day in pounds, and the number of cows milking. The defaults are 90 pounds and 1,000 head. The last entry is milk price in dollars per hundredweight. This should be your mailbox price, updated to current. The default is $20. Every field updates the results immediately. There is no calculate button. Below the main inputs is an advanced settings panel, which expands when clicked. It holds 3 parameters. Marginal feed cost is the feed required to produce 1 additional hundredweight of milk. Income over feed cost is milk value minus this figure. The default is $9 per hundredweight. First lactation percentage is the share of your herd in first lactation. This sets the yield slope because first lactation cows and older cows lose different amounts of milk per doubling of SCC. The default is 33%. Days at this SCC is the number of days per year the herd spends at the improved SCC level. The default is 365. At the top of the results area is the total value of reaching your target SCC for the whole herd per year. Directly beneath it, a line states the move being valued, for example, moving from 300,000 to 240,000 SCC. 3 figures break that total down. Extra milk per cow per day is the additional production recovered at the target. Recoverable milk IOFC per year is the value of that milk across the whole herd, net of marginal feed. Premium or penalty gain per year is the change in the milk quality payment, which applies to all herd milk, not just the milk you recover. Below these is the target SCC slider. Dragging it left lowers the target and increases the recovered milk. The slider runs down to 50,000. All 3 figures and the total update as you drag. Section 1 is the level-by-level detail table, titled Expected Recovery at each SCC target. It lists every SCC level between your current count and 50,000, in steps of 10,000. The columns are Target SCC, the Linear Somatic Cell Score, or SCS, at that level, additional milk per cow per day, the premium or penalty in dollars per hundredweight at that bracket, milk IOFC per year, premium per year, and total per year. Values are relative to your current SCC, holding cows, milk price, feed cost, and the premium schedule constant. Clicking any row sets that level as your target, which updates the headline result above. Watch the total column as it moves down the table. It does not rise smoothly. It steps up sharply each time the herd crosses into a new premium bracket because the premium is paid on every hundredweight shipped. Section 2 asks whether lactational antibiotic therapy pays. It models 1 round of treatment, for example, systemic ampicillin, against the SCC target you set above. A note at the top explains why milk recovery defaults to 0. In a randomized trial by Van den Born, Frankena and co-authors in 2019, lactational antimicrobial treatment lowered composite SCC for roughly 4 test days before the effect faded, but produced no recovery in milk yield and no reduction in clinical mastitis. Because of that finding, the tool credits milk recovery only to the extent you choose. The inputs are cows treated, entered as a percentage of the milking herd, with the head count shown beneath it. Milk recovery credited, as a percentage, defaulting to 0. The benefit window in days, defaulting to 120, which reflects the roughly 4 months the SCC effect persisted. Milk discarded in days, defaulting to 5, covering 3 treatment days plus a 48-hour withhold, and drug cost, entered as bottle price, bottle volume, dose per day, and days of treatment. Results appear as 2 columns. Costs lists the drug cost and the discarded milk. Benefits over the window lists the quality premium gained across the herd and any credited milk recovery. Beneath them is the net return on the treatment round, followed by a one-line interpretation of whether benefits exceed costs at your settings. A final note prompts you to check that the number of cows treated is consistent with the SCC target you selected, since the premium benefit is credited on the whole herd's milk. Section 3 documents the method. It presents the full calculation chain in 5 steps, with the equations and the exact values used. Step 1 converts SCC to the linear somatic cell score. Step 2 calculates recoverable milk per cow when moving to a lower SCC, scaling the published slope to your herd's production level. Step 3 converts that milk to income over feed cost. Step 4 adds the milk quality premium or penalty from the stepped SCC schedule. Step 5 sets out the treatment profit and loss calculation from the previous section. Below the equations, 4 tiles report the values currently in use: the effective slope in kilograms per doubling, the IOFC margin per hundredweight, your current SCS, and the time horizon in days per year. A closing note describes what the estimate does and does not capture. The figure is an expected, herd average recovery. Actual response depends on the pathogens involved and how chronic the infections are. The model excludes culling and reduced new infections, so it is generally conservative. Section 4 lists the 6 peer-reviewed sources the tool is built on, each with its role in the model noted and a link to the publication. Estimates from this tool are decision support only and depend on the inputs you provide. They are not a substitute for herd-specific veterinary and financial advice. The SCC Recovery Calculator is available at dairymgt.cals.wisc.edu under the Tools page. It was developed by Dr. Victor Cabrera in the Department of Animal and Dairy Sciences at the University of Wisconsin-Madison.